Yeah, you're right. And Elson, Peter, what I want to point out with this as well, our radar can actually pick up the smoke when there's that much smoke. You can see the radar lit up, not from rain, from smoke. The heaviest rain is now moving into Ventura County. You can see some heavy rain coming into Santa Barbara, San Luis Obispo County. This is a tree, just one of many that came down overnight with those gusty winds. And I'll show you the roots. I stand about 5'8" tall, and these roots are almost as big as me. Here they put up these yellow barrels full of sand, and right behind it you've got the K-rails. They've been doubled up so that when if mud is to slide down this hill and go down this street, hopefully this will help prevent some of that going into some of those homes.
We've got plenty of it, Craig.
In the form of rain, snow, a little bit of ice flurries out there as well.
Huge surf, too.
Huge surf, yes, up to 10 feet for west-facing slopes later today. Let me show you some of the devastation. Sad to see a home like this. The storm we've been advertising still on schedule. It's due west of us. It's a warm system, so snowfall levels are going to be pretty high up, but it does have some moisture to work with. It'll come directly at us as we go through the day, Saturday, and then lingering showers into Sunday. So basically a cloudy night. The weekend rain will add up to 1/4 of an inch to up to 1.5 inches. I think the 1.5 inches happens through the Ventura County mountains, and snowfall levels are going to be at 8,000 feet. What you're looking at right now is Burbank Boulevard, completely underwater past really all the way closer to Lake Balboa. The rain was coming up quickly. We had to drive through it. I was in the with our photographer, and I was in the CBS mobile weather lab, and we saw the water come up quickly. So the rain here has been coming down steady at times, and the radar right behind me, we fired up the radar here, and you can see some heavy bands just off in the distance. Now we've had this fired up for almost an hour, and the weather station above has already collected over about 4/10 of an inch of rain in a short amount of time. The wind starts to pick up, and at times the winds carry that rain horizontally.
So Craig is advising that we all get out today.
Yeah.
Because tomorrow
Cools down, and then after that, forget about it. It's going to be cold overall by the time we get into next week. Today, 2 to 4 degrees warmer than it was yesterday. We'll see lots of 70s and 80s. Tomorrow we'll drop about 5 to 10 degrees, and we'll see lots of low 70s. Next week is when the cold air arrives. Right now it's still way up in the Gulf of Alaska. Cold air is a lot heavier. It travels a little slower, so it's slower to get here and slower to leave.
All right, the rain is pretty much on time, isn't it?
Yeah, getting and really impressive.
Yeah,
it's really impressive. We were talking about this since last Saturday, really. Yeah. It's been a good system, and by the end of it, by the time we're done, several inches, and this is going to be one of the biggest ones, you said, in about 6 years or so. Take a look at this awesome, we took a time lapse of the LA River. Take a look at this. Watch how the river starts to fill up. Here comes the water. And then bam, it just fills up quickly. So we'll watch this closely as the rain starts to come up, and let's show you what it looks like live right now. Yeah, it's pretty full already, right? We'll continue to watch this as all of this rain comes in and continues to move on through. Let's show you what it looks like now with the radar. And that rain, the heaviest rain, is now moving into Ventura County. You can see some heavy rain coming into Santa Barbara, San Luis Obispo County. Also saw a return of a potential tornado just north in Marin County, north of San Francisco. Nothing confirmed, but that energy is what's coming our direction as we go through the afternoon. So several hours of this rain as we continue to watch the system, and even in through Saturday morning with some impressive wind and also some high surf. So here we got some heavy rain coming on through. Anytime you see those shades pop up into red, which we'll see on the Futurecast in moments, that's likely to give us some thunderstorms, potentially even some funnel clouds. We'll even watch for waterspouts just off the coast. All right, let's take a look at the San Fernando Valley. You can see some heavy rain coming over, especially into the western end, and traveling along any of the passes with some of the gusty winds. Could be very tricky at times. All right, a little bit of a break for parts of Culver City down through the basin, but boy, you see some through Southgate, very light at that. You see some over to Long Beach, over to Seal Beach, and most of this is headed up to the north. So if you aren't getting anything just yet, give it a couple of minutes. You've got some just off the coast headed your direction. All right, through the OC, we've got scattered showers, mostly closer to, say, Laguna Niguel. Got some close to Foothill Ranch. You got over through San Clemente. So traveling south over to maybe San Diego today is going to be very tough. Anywhere really to Las Vegas, over into the Central Valley. Heavy rain as well. Rain coming up through the Rainbow Gap, headed up into Temecula, Lake Elsinore as well. And this area, right in through here, we do have storm chasers throughout Southern California, and this is one of the areas that's favorable to see some severe weather. I've been out there with some of those storm chasers before, and we've seen some funnels there. We watch for that this afternoon. Snow for Big Bear Lake up at about 7,000 feet. By tonight, it starts to drop as we get through the midnight hours. It drops down to about 5,000 feet. So we got some rain right now through Glendora as well. And let's take you closer to Duarte. And you've got some rain starting to pick up, very, very light. But up into Mount Wilson, all of the hills here, we'll start to get some rain. And of course, the basins, they've been working to clear out some of those debris flow basins as well. So the weather headlines: flash flooding possible, in fact, likely. Afternoon thunderstorms. The coast and the valley, 3 to 6 inches of rain. We haven't seen this much rain in quite some time. 2004, if you go back, when we had 5.5 inches. Foothills in the mountains, 5 to 10 inches of rain. The surf, 5 to 10 feet. And by tomorrow morning, after about 4 o'clock, when high tide comes in, we'll see sets closer to 15 feet. The winds continue to gust out of the southwest, 25 to 45 miles per hour. So let's go in with the watches and warnings. Winter storm warning in place for snow at 7,500 feet. We'll get up to 2 feet of snow above 8,000 feet. So this is a higher elevation thing with snowfall. Flash flood watches for most locations. We could get up to an inch per hour at times. We'll also see high surf advisories in place. We talked about especially Saturday morning, up to 15 feet. And then finally, high wind warnings in place for gusts closer to 70 miles per hour. Right now, those gusts 25 to 35 miles per hour. Temperatures mostly 50s to 60s, and we'll stay there for afternoon highs. There's the storm. The wraparound moisture continues to come in our direction, and we'll see some heavy rain at times. All right, here's the futurecast. 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock. Notice those reds are popping up. That's when we have the potential to see some showers and thunderstorms. 5:30, still heavy. By 7 o'clock, starting to see scattered showers, and the 9 o'clock starting to move on out of here. We'll still see some showers as we go into Saturday, though. Here's your extended forecast. Stormy today, a little bit of rain on Saturday and Sunday. Short break on Sunday, a chance for some showers on Monday. Then you've got a few more scattered showers possible on Tuesday. By Wednesday, Thursday, we're starting to clear on out. It's not really till next Thursday that we get some more sunshine, but temperatures hovering mostly in the low to mid 60s. Snow continues to fall through Saturday for the higher elevations, and again, several feet above 8,000 feet. Jeff and Sharon, we continue to track this. Of course, we'll be watching on social media as well, but this is a big one for us. By the time we're said and done, several inches of rain. Yeah, quick, they were on here and they were up in the air and up on the ground as well. You can see them up behind me on the ridge there. That's KCAL Canyon. We've confirmed 62 acres. That was via GPS survey that they just did and gave us those numbers just moments ago. Also from the air, let me give you some of the statistics that they were up in the air. We had 2 super scoopers here. We had 2 large helicopters and 4 medium helicopters. So in all 8 attacks from up above. And by the way, they were getting water from Hanson Dam nearby, which is another reason they were able to attack this fire so quickly. Good news for them as well. They had 4 to 5 strike teams on the ground, and we also heard and saw a fire tornado. Those happen when those erratic winds in these canyons really flare up and the winds just come from all directions. You get a little tornado down on the ground, so some dangerous information for them as well. Angeles National Forest the dispatch got the call at about 2:42 this afternoon. Of course, these winds really make these fires grow very fast.
We really rely on our air resources to help knock down the advancing flame front, and then we have a couple hotshot crews and some engine crews that are advancing hose lay and digging hand line up around the fire to try to secure it.
And I pray God that we wouldn't have any fire, especially right now with this weather, you know. Picking up, we have a lot of kids out here at this neighborhood, you know, a lot of wildlife, a lot of domestic animals too.
And you're looking live right now. You can see some of the firefighters still up on the hillside trying to attack this from the ground. Of course, they attack from the air first, then go in with ground crews. They have been dealing with some very hot conditions. We were out monitoring weather conditions in the CBS 2 mobile weather lab. I can tell you at this hour it's 86 degrees, 11% relative humidity, but earlier today it was about 90. LAPD was going to issue mandatory evacuations, but since they've made such progress on this fire, they have since backed down. Pat and Paul, back to you.
All right, got my funnel cloud.
A scary sight out of dark, ominous clouds.
There we go.
But that's not Kansas or Oklahoma. It's Riverside County.
Oh. Adrenaline starts pumping, heart rate starts going.
Weather junkie Will Wilkins chases storms across the Southwest and says while it's the Midwest that's known for its twisters, California has its own version of Tornado Alley.
Whoa, now that was an awesome strike. The inland areas of Southern California, especially the Inland Empire, it's a perfect area for severe weather.
It's a volatile storm area known as the Elsinore Convergence Zone. It stretches from the Santa Ana Mountains near Lake Elsinore to Beaumont and the San Jacinto Mountains.
Oh!
In the summer months when it's hot, strong onshore winds wrap around the Santa Ana Mountains, colliding head-on with each other, producing intense weather. Weather that Wilkins often puts himself right in the middle of.
Landspout, got it!
Like this rare landspout ripping through Paris 5 years ago.
I got very excited. Woohoo! And I was hooping and hollering, and because it's one of those once-in-a-lifetime events.
Or this fierce microburst caught over Lake Elsinore in August of 2012. These live wires popped and fell on this bus, trapping 12 people inside for an hour until Edison could de-energize the lines and firemen could pull the people out.
It sounded like lightning hit the bus, or like 5 bombs exploded.
Wilkins doesn't get paid to storm chase, it's just his passion.
Look at this thing. Holy cow!
He says even though chasing in the Elsinore Convergence Zone is a huge adrenaline kick,
Holy crap!
he never throws caution to the wind. He always comes prepared.
When I'm looking at radar and looking at a storm, I'll know exactly where my position is in relation to that storm. You shouldn't just jump in a car and head into a storm without having some kind of basic knowledge of severe weather.
So whether you're chasing the storm or the storm's chasing you, be smart, be careful, and never underestimate the weather.
No one should ever take any small mini tornado, however big it is, lightly, because you can get hurt.
I'm meteorologist Craig Herrera, CBS 2 News. Hi, Suzanne. When you said chills, I had them all day up and down my arms. This is it. This is the room. Room B340. This was completely gutted out back in the 80s. Now you can see it's completely redone and ready to go. By the way, this is the ship's call, or the log, with a lot of the paranormal activity. As you know, the Queen Mary is known as a haunted ship, and that's been known worldwide. Soon, guests will be able to stay in here overnight and decide for themselves. The Queen Mary, long known for its paranormal activity, and if these walls could talk.
Many, many stories and legends revolve around this room.
Legend says room B340 has a checkered past.
While she was still sailing, there is a story that a man was found dead in his cabin.
She sailed from 1936 to 1967 before resting at the port of Long Beach. Becoming a hotel, one guest claimed the sheets were pulled off the bed.
She sat up and she saw a man standing at the foot of her bed.
Others said the bathroom door closed by itself, but that's not all.
In the early years of the hotel, when this room was being used, passengers also reported water going on and off, lights turning on and off.
The final encounter?
Story is the housekeeper came in and put fresh sheets on the bed. She went out in the hall to get clean towels. When she came back, the sheets had been pulled from the bed and were laying in a pile on the floor.
Nobody else was near?
No one else was around, no.
It was the mid-1980s, and that's when this room was closed to guests, until now.
Every day I walk the ship, I see guests, and they want B340.
Now it's 2 rooms combined into 1 suite.
It'll come with some amenities that are not in any other stateroom, such as some Ouija boards and some tarot cards.
And for the right price, you could stay here overnight if you dare. All right, and you're taking a look now at the closet in one of these rooms in this suite. By the way, the reason that they feel there's so much paranormal activity is that this room is very close to the first-class swimming pool, and they believe, paranormalists believe, that there's a vortex there that allows some of the spirits to travel between dimensions. So this room is very close to that area.